other first year head coaches. Oh, hello, honey. Oh my, get down. She's getting fired up for Kim
Okay.
Caldwell.
Hey there, sports fans. We have SEC baseball, we have NFL draft recap, and a look at some of the first-year SEC coaches. All of that in today's episode. So I'm so glad that you joined in. Darren is with me again. Darren, hey, how you doing?
Oh, what a great SEC baseball NFL draft. Man, it was a fun weekend. You definitely didn't sit around bored. It's a good sports time. We often get kind of, oh no, there's no football and there's no March Madness, but there's still plenty going on. We got a lot to occupy us, especially on the weekends.
And we also want to say hello to Brandon way up in West Virginia. Do I have to yell? Can you hear me, Brandon?
I'm good.
Have I
can hear
become
you
one of
loud and
those
clear.
old people that has to yell on the phone?
I know I'm outside of SEC countries, but you still don't have to yell. I can hear.
But you're still an SEC fan, so that works.
Right. Oh yeah.
I wish I could remember a couple of lines from those Geico when you become your parents as a new homeowner. Those commercials crack me up.
Yeah, those are good.
I'm blank right now. I can't come up with any of the lines, but
let's jump right into SEC baseball with a look at the top 25 for this week. There's always a shakeup, particularly when SEC teams are playing against each other, much like every other sport. And so Texas, after a sweep of A&M, their hated rivals, holding on to that number one position. LSU jumped up to number 2 after winning a weekend series against Tennessee. Arkansas at 3-5, Tennessee at 6, Georgia at 7, Auburn 11, Vanderbilt Commodores at number 15, Alabama at 16, Ole Miss at 18, and Oklahoma at 21. So that's your SEC teams in the top 25. Now we also have to mention, since Brandon, he roots for Tennessee, but he also roots for West Virginia. The Mountaineers are having quite a season in college baseball.
They are. I think, I'm not sure if it was last week, maybe the week before, they played Marshall. They had a nail biter against Marshall, believe it or not, but they pulled that out in Morgantown, and they're playing some great baseball right now. Great team. New head coach,
down here.
That's right.
That's become a bad word. We don't talk about.
We don't even know who that is. Oh, but speaking of giving shout outs, I forgot, meant to mention it before we started recording, but still want to throw it in. Speaking of baseball teams having a great season, I know it's not SEC ball, just like West Virginia, but our local LSU Shreveport, here where Ben and I are located in Northwest Louisiana, just finished an undefeated regular season, 47-0. I don't care what level ball you're playing. Dadgum. That is
unbelievable. Wow.
That's a record.
Yeah, it's a record. And now, didn't they win the national championship last year in that division of ball? If they didn't, they made it to the World Series in that division of ball, even if they didn't win it. And then they come up to that, have 47 wins in the regular season, undefeated. Pretty incredible. So shout out to LSU Shreveport for an incredible baseball season.
Yeah, give it up for the Pilots. What a great season. Great season. Speaking of postseason tournaments, though, Darren, we're about 3 weeks out of Omaha?
3 weeks. Well, of Birmingham, the SEC tournament.
Okay, of the SEC tournament. And then
May 20th is when we start, and of course it will look different this year. There will be a few changes as far as who, single loss versus double elimination. There will be some super seeds that get two passes or 2 byes. But no matter the changes or not, we are May 20th is when SEC baseball tournament starts, and we're like you said, basically 3 weeks away. It's time. It's here.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be here quick. It's going to be fun, like always.
Oh, absolutely.
before we get to talking more about baseball, let's have a little bit of a recap of the NFL draft, because the SEC has quite a bit to talk about. A record 79 draft picks, most ever for one conference in a single draft.
Incredible.
I think they tied the all-time record for first round draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
So quite a showing from the SEC. We want to have a special shout out to LSU offensive lineman Will Campbell, going 4th overall to the New England Patriots, the highest drafted offensive lineman from LSU in school history. The Patriots got a good one.
Amazing.
And did you see the video of him? He went to tour the facilities. I think he was with his parents, and they were up in New England. Do they still play in Foxborough? I can't remember.
Foxborough, right?
Yeah. Do they still play in Foxborough?
Yep.
Well, he was up somewhere high, and he looked over, and he said, "Hey, look, Bass Pro Shops."
That's Louisiana right there.
Right.
It's the little things, right? Make you feel like you're connected to home.
Will Campbell is an impressive guy. Like, like he had an interview at some point during the season that really stuck with me. He said, if a defensive lineman gets 1 sack a game, he's a top 5 pick. But if an offensive lineman gives up 1 sack a game, he's working in Amazon.
That's right.
Great.
And he said these guys are out here trying to get paid. Like, they are motivated to beat you. And and then he said something about, look at my very first play of college football. I got my face ran through, is what he said. And he was like, but I learned, and he got better. And look at him, he's the number 4 pick overall, going to a historic franchise like that's on a rebuild. And congratulations to him. Like, it all starts in the trenches, and they know that. Vrabel, I'm very familiar with Vrabel as a Titans fan. It was no doubt in my mind that was the pick that he was going to make, for sure.
And it does not hurt my feelings at all, with all of the, and rightfully so, quarterbacks, tight ends, receivers, running backs. They do a lot, get a lot of attention. I have no problem with that, but it doesn't hurt my feelings at all that the first pick out of the SEC was out of the trenches. I kind of like that.
Oh yeah.
That's where the games are won, fellas.
Exactly.
Will Campbell, just down the road from us, about 100 miles or so, in the West Monroe area. So not too far from here at all. And I know that they are incredibly excited. I've heard some comparisons since he went to the Patriots between Will Campbell and Bill Russell, who was also from the same area. And of course, Bill Russell brought the Celtics 11 championship rings. Is Campbell going to do that with the Patriots? That's kind of some pretty insane expectations.
But they're a franchise that's accustomed to it, so it will. Change, a little bit of a change in coaching, but they're a franchise that wouldn't be the first time they've had an incredible run.
Yeah. SEC has had the most picks in the NFL draft since 2007.
Dominant.
Another dominating performance. So, wow, what a great draft. And we're not even going to get into the drama, because there wasn't really any drama connected with SEC players. Do you notice that?
No, I think the only thing that really became a talking point with SEC players was Quinn Ewers and how far he kind of slid down.
Yeah.
And then the conversation about, NIL money versus rookie contract when you're drafted as late as he was. I don't know that was really drama, but I would say that was one of the biggest conversations that came out as far as like an SEC player is concerned.
Yeah.
He could have signed for, I think I read somewhere, an $8 million NIL offer. Don't quote me on that, but and now he'll be making $700,000 a year in the NFL based on his draft position. And
1 million is his max in that draft position.
That's a steep difference. But that's just, it is what it is in the NFL, that when you get drafted where he got drafted, like I said, it is what it is. You make what you make. So maybe he'll be the next Brock Purdy type that'll outplay his
Yeah,
contract and then earn that $8 million one day, you know?
that's exactly right.
He's pursuing his dream. We criticize players for trying to make an insane amount of money, and I mean, do we? Yeah, I don't think we should criticize him for leaving money on the table if he's pursuing his dream. And good for him. So I hope it works
Yeah.
out for Quinn Ewers.
I think he's
It's
got
kind of a
more
tough
criticism
situation
for
in
all those.
Texas.
I think he's got more criticism for all those dead animals hanging on his walls than anything else.
Speaking of Bass Pro, his living room kind of
Right.
looked like a Bass Pro.
Exactly.
I saw
It
a
looked like
tweet.
that. It looked like that room in Ace Ventura 2, like, like that guy's like man
Yeah.
cave or whatever with all those
Yeah,
animals.
yeah.
My goodness.
I saw a tweet that said, for every round that goes by that Quinn Ewers doesn't get drafted, another animal goes up on the wall.
Yeah, right.
That's hilarious.
Well, we're going to step back from football for a little bit, even though that's pretty much our favorite topic to talk about on this show. And we're going to look at some SEC basketball coaches. We had a number of first-time coaches this year in the conference, and we want to take a few moments to talk about those coaches, how they did, which coaches we think did better than the other ones. And that's why Brandon's here to help us chime in on this. So you guys ready to dive into our analysis of new SEC basketball coaches?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
You want to start on the men or women's side?
I'm okay with either. You make the call.
Well, ladies first. Let's start with the women.
All right. Perfect.
And this segment is brought to you by Dr. Pepper Zero. Not really.
Oh, my favorite.
A guy can dream, right?
That's exactly right.
I forgot to wear my Dr. Pepper Zero hat. My bad.
Does this have any dyes in it that are about to be banned?
It wouldn't surprise me, but they taste good. I don't know what to tell you.
I just bought a barrel of Red 40 to keep in my garage just in case it gets banned.
Yellow number 5. We'll take that one too.
Brandon's going to be selling that stuff on the black market. Yo, man, you got any more of that Red 40?
There's a guy up in the mountains. There's a guy up in the mountains. He's got.
All right. On the women's side, we have Kenny Brooks, who went to Kentucky. I'm going to make Brandon wait on the other one.
That's right.
We'll start with Kenny Brooks. Came over from Virginia Tech, brought his starting point guard with him, Georgia Amore. You guys, I would say preliminary, just off the cuff, I thought Kenny Brooks did a great job this year at Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
Now, postseason, they didn't meet the expectations that they had. But
what
overall,
a game, though. That game against Kansas State, like, oh, man, went into overtime, right? And, oh, wow, what a game. They played hard. It's hard to see their season end like that, especially Georgia Moore's career end like that. But, wow, he's on the rise.
Yeah, great coach.
Yeah, I mean, they had double-digit wins in the conference in his first year. You know, I know a lot of times coaches kind of take it on the chin when postseason doesn't go the way you have a good year and postseason expectations kind of build. But you know, what he was able to do with that program in the first year, there's also a learning curve. There's also a building process, and sometimes it's hard to overcome if there hasn't been success. It's hard to overcome that. Oh, hey, we made it, especially in when you deal with tournaments, postseason tournaments. Look at this, we made it to the tournament, and the locker room kind of goes, okay, we made it. You know, that's hard to do in your first year, and we see it a lot with first year coaches. So I hope that the Kentucky fan base is sitting back going, man, we can't wait to see what this dude does next year when he's got another year with this team in his classroom, learning from him. I think there's going to be incredible things come from Kentucky. I think he's showed them what's to come, and not just a 1 year kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of patience in sports, but I mean, he's I know he came from the ACC, which is by far more than legitimate. Don't get me wrong, but he's a first-year coach in the SEC. And we all know that the SEC is a different breed. So
Yep.
he did great. He did a great job as a
Yep.
first-year coach in the SEC, beyond what I think anyone expected him to do. So congratulations to him. The future's bright.
Yep.
They got to get their women's team out of that gym, though. That just. Did you watch any of the Kentucky home games?
I saw a couple of them.
Oh my goodness!
It hurt your feelings to watch.
Come on! I mean, come on, Kentucky fans. Get behind your women's program. Put them in Rupp. You look at, Tennessee is selling out their arena. LSU's selling out there. South Carolina's selling out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you got a legitimate program. You got a good coach who's bringing in good players, and I hated it watching their home games. I'm like, golly, this is a horrible atmosphere.
But I think I would be, let me say it this way, I would be surprised if the Kentucky fan base doesn't get on board. I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily going to be instantaneous where all of a sudden next year they're selling out Rupp. I don't want to be silly in setting expectations, but I think he has another year like he did this year and stacks a postseason win or two on it. I think, because Kentucky people love them some basketball, so I think he can get them on board.
There's another new hire this year who had a pretty successful first-year campaign, and I think Brandon may have something to say about her. But Kim Caldwell from Tennessee, a great first year with the Volunteers. Brandon, I'm going to turn it over to you because you are the Tennessee fan among the three of us. So tell us a little bit about your analysis of Kim Caldwell's first season.
So unlike Kentucky's coach Moore, she has 1 year of D1 experience, and that is Conference USA with Marshall. Before that, she was at a D3
There's
school.
That word again, Brandon.
Yeah,
Marshall.
Come on.
You don't say that word.
The Herd. She was with the Herd. But my goodness, she was at Glenville State and won a national championship with them. She went to the other school in West Virginia and won the conference with them, lost the first round of the tournament, comes to Tennessee, makes it to the Sweet 16. I mean, my goodness, she is a winner. And it is just getting better and better and better. I don't know if you guys have kept up with the transfer portal or not. You see a girl from UCLA, girl from SMU, three 5-star recruits coming in. My goodness, like it is a good time to be a Lady Vol fan for sure. She is elevating this program to a level it hasn't seen in years. I am so excited. I cannot wait for this next season to start. I can't wait to get down to Knoxville and see a game or two. Like, I'm so excited. And the people here in Parkersburg, West Virginia, I have never seen so much orange in my life here because Kim Caldwell is from the town that I live in.
That's right. I mean,
and it is amazing. Everywhere you go, like you go to the grocery store, you go to the mall, you see people wearing orange here because of her. It's amazing. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of
West Virginia folks. I bet that's hard.
It's just so cool.
But
have you
heard Rocky Top played?
I have not heard Rocky Top. It hasn't gotten that great yet, but
you're just gonna have to start that, Brandon.
I think so. I think so.
Don't do that to people. There's only so much people can handle.
So I was at a local restaurant here. Shout out to JP Henry's, and they were doing some live music, and I requested. I had my daughter do it. She brought up a $5 bill and requested they play Rocky Top, and they had to.
There you go.
They had to look up the lyrics on their iPad to sing it. They did a good job, though. Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they did a good
Nice.
job.
I'll give
Yeah,
I'll give
yeah,
props for that.
right. But Kim
Good
Caldwell,
local
she
restaurant thing.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That Kim Caldwell is amazing. Like I can't wait to see what she does. I just really hope she's the next, has the longevity anyway of Pat Summit and stays with us and
Yeah.
doesn't jump ship for like the pros or something, or when Dawn Staley finally retires, like or Mulkey or somebody. Like I just hope she stays. I just
Oh,
hope she stays with Tennessee and builds the program. That's all I can hope for.
well, I mean, truthfully, as long as she's doing well, I don't. I mean, Tennessee is a destination job unless there's some
Sure.
kind of connection to something that you grew up, that you're a fan of, or unless
West
there's some kind
Virginia
of
could be scary.
anomaly
Like
there.
she very
That's
well
about
could come home to Morgantown, but
yeah.
that's a legitimate threat. Like if they're ever looking for a coach, they would be dumb to not at least ask, you know.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But that's
But
a
I
legitimate
don't.
possibility. But
Outside of something like that, I mean, she's got an incredible destination job.
yeah, and
So,
in her contract, I don't know if any other first year um, head coaches. Oh, hello, honey. Oh my, get down. She's getting fired up for Kim
okay.
Caldwell. What I was going to say was, I don't know if any other first year coaches have it in their contract that if they win a national championship, they automatically become the highest paid coach in all of college basketball. But Kim Caldwell does.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
so
Good for
there you
her.
go. That's motivation.
Yeah,
That is motivation to
that's
win right
awesome.
there.
That's
Absolutely.
Yep.
awesome.
Well, Darren, there's been some new hires as well. Do you want to talk about those?
Yeah, we absolutely can. Let's see. The first kind of big new hire was at Missouri. Another name Brandon might be familiar with. Correct.
Yeah.
Kellie Harper. Uh, I think you have to be honest about her. And Brandon, obviously, we want to get your take on this, but the success she had at Tennessee, um, and most other places, I don't think would have necessarily been a fireable offense. I think
I
it was
know. I
because
know.
it was because, and I'm not even saying that to be ugly or negative anyway toward Tennessee. Programs have expectations, uh,
Yeah.
so I think she's a hire that the people in Missouri should be excited about. I think she can definitely do some good things with that program. What are your thoughts?
Definitely, definitely. She's a more of a defensive minded coach.
Hmm.
She's not flashy. She's more about fundamental basketball. She's not subbing in five players at a time and shooting
Right.
33s a game like Caldwell does. But she's going to make that team better. She's going to make them better people. She's going to make them raise their character level.
Hmm.
They're gonna want to win for her. And she was successful at Tennessee.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I think she kind of got the raw end of the deal there. I mean, I know 5 years is long enough to kind of see where she's at, but Tennessee was not a terrible basketball team with her. They just couldn't really win big games, But Missouri is on a rebuild. She's going to do great. She's a good recruiter.
Yeah.
I feel like a change of scenery for her is a good thing, and I'm excited to see how Missouri basketball does with her. That was a great hire. Great hire.
And now, doesn't she have some ties in Missouri? Wasn't she at like Missouri Valley State or something like that before she
Northwest
was with
Missouri,
Tennessee?
something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
it was
yeah,
something like that. Yeah, yeah.
uh,
We're showing
yeah.
our extreme knowledge of Missouri schools.
Right,
There was
exactly.
a
Yeah.
Missouri, there was a state, there was a
Eli would be very impressed right now.
yeah. We might know more about it than he does, but whatever. He doesn't worry about any school in Missouri except Missouri. MIZ is all he's worried about.
Right.
Well, Kellie Harper was not the only new hire, Darren. Who are some of the others?
uh, we also had Larry Vickers at Auburn and Kelsi, I think it's Musick, that was the new hire at Arkansas. And Larry Vickers comes out of the MEAC conference, has an incredible career winning percentage, has won some tournament titles, has been in the NCAA tournament 3 times, and I believe he is going to be. Of course, all you can do is look at is past coaching performance going to predict future coaching performance? And the SEC is a big transition, and especially unless you're part of that kind of top tier of SEC women's basketball right now, it's really tough. But you would think, 174 wins, just a little under a 660 winning percentage for his career. He's been to the NCAA tournament. You would think that would be an opportunity for some good things at Auburn.
Yeah.
Our other new hire on the women's side is Kelsi Musick, who is now the head coach at Arkansas. She comes from Southwest Oklahoma State University. There's a lot of words in that. That's we're used to Tennessee, Vanderbilt, LSU.
A lot of
It's at least
syllables.
initials. There's a lot going on there. But she brings with her 259 career wins. She's been to the Division II national champion, national tournament 6 times. So it's definitely going to be a step up, coming from a different level of program, getting there to Arkansas. But she brings a lot of wins and a lot of experience. So who
Hey,
knows?
like I said a minute ago, that sounds a lot like Kim Caldwell coming to Tennessee. I mean,
Yeah,
it's Southwest Oklahoma State. I mean,
absolutely.
wow. To Arkansas, to an SEC
Yep.
team. I mean, good luck. Good luck. Like,
And
it's a
just
big
like
jump.
just like with Kim Caldwell, a lot of times it's as simple as winners are going to win. So who knows?
Exactly.
Yeah, great point. Great point. Doesn't matter what the school is. Winners,
That's right.
winners are going to win. On the men's side, switching over, A&M, we real quick recently hired a new coach, Bucky McMillan. Kind of a surprise hire for a lot of people. They were thinking about bigger names out there, but here comes Bucky McMillan, who, golly, what, a decade ago was coaching where?
Just 5 years ago,
That's my
2020,
point.
Yeah,
he was a
yeah. 5 years
high
ago,
school
he was coaching in high school.
he was
Yeah.
a high school basketball coach 5
Yep.
years ago. Yeah.
Quite the ascent. What do you guys think about that hire?
Um, if I'm an A&M fan, it scares me to say sentences like, 5 years ago he was the high school coach of the year at Mountain Brook High School. I'm immediately terrified, but at the same time, in his time at Stanford, he's up over 650 in his winning percentage. He's got right at 100 wins. Again, I think you just got to hope that, hey, just like we said, winners are going to win. And I mean, that's all you can kind of hold on to.
Conference championship, 3 consecutive coach of the year awards. I mean, this guy's on to something. I mean,
Yeah.
Texas A&M, they thought outside the box, and looks like they found a great coach. The guy's still, I mean, he's still young, 41 years old. I mean, he's got a lot of good years of coaching. I'm excited to see what he does. Like, I think he's going to be great. Like, why not?
And if he has 2 winning seasons, back-to-back winning seasons, makes it to at least one tournament, and is not immediately, at least within the state of Texas, the spokesperson for the Bucky's, whatever those things, I don't know, you can't call it a gas station, you can't call it a convenience store for Bucky's. If he's not the spokesperson for them, Bucky, speaking for Bucky's, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. Just throwing that out there.
That just makes sense.
It has to, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just feel so so good listening to Brandon, a Tennessee fan, give so much love to Aggie fans. I mean, we cross all kinds of barriers
That's
here on the
right.
Brew and Shaver Sports Podcast.
We are the melting pot. We show it, don't we?
And at that moment, the one Longhorn fan we have just clicked off. They just tuned out. So
Yeah.
Tennessee fan likes it. I told you I didn't like the hire. That's
he's like, we swept A&M this weekend. That and y'all are talking about some 41-year-old high school coach.
That's hilarious.
Let's get into the first-year coaches in the SEC. We had 3 this year. John Calipari left Kentucky, somewhat of a mutual parting of the ways.
Yeah.
Went to Arkansas. Mark Pope succeeded him at Kentucky. And Mark Byington,
Yeah.
first-year coach at Vanderbilt. So let's start, Darren. I know you're chomping at the bit to talk about Coach
Yeah,
Byington. So give us your analysis of his first year.
Well, he came really, really close to having more, or he had more SEC wins than total wins the previous year. If that tells you something, he made it to the tournament for the first time in 8 years, or 7 years, since 2017. He built the entire roster out of the portal. And because there was only one remaining player that stuck around after the parting of the ways that took place with Stackhouse. And they were fun to watch, which is honestly something that most honest Vanderbilt fans have not been able to say. Of course, you say, "Oh, these guys are good. You enjoy good defense. Defense wins championships." And then you fall asleep halfway through the first half and wake up halfway through the second half to watch them finish off the loss. That's been the last 5 years of Vanderbilt basketball. So not only did he win, and not only did he get to the tournament, but they were fun to watch. They were exciting. Just the brand of basketball. You could see that he taught those guys that he believed in them, that they bought into the fact that he believed in them, and it did not matter if it was a 6'10" power forward. If the shot was open, he took it. If that was within 3 feet of the basket, or if that
power
was
forward that transferred. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, look, his connections. Brandon's connection is going bad. We're gonna have to.
Yeah, they beat Tennessee. They did, and
beat Tennessee, beat Kentucky, had some really nice wins throughout the stretch of the season. Unfortunately, the way things work, he's having to do the same thing again this year. He's building all 5 starters will basically be new to the roster next year, is the way it looks. But he's shown he can do it. So, until something says, "Hey, this portal is too much for him to manage," we don't have anything but to think that he can manage it and do it well. So I think it was a great, a much needed good first year for Mark Byington at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, a lot of excitement you notice at the home games.
Yeah.
I think the fans are buying into what he's doing. I think this is just the start. We're going to see greater success at Vanderbilt.
Hopefully so. And just like Brandon was talking about, hopefully he does see this as a destination job, because if his arc turns out to be what it looks like it's going to be over the next 5 years, there will be some people calling. You can guarantee. So hopefully he sees Vanderbilt as a destination job.
Well, yeah, if you live in Nashville or live close to Nashville, why would you ever move away?
Yeah, hopefully that's the case.
So I see what you did there, Ben. I moved to tropical West Virginia from 40 minutes of north of Nashville. I miss Nashville every day, but I don't see how Mark Byington, he's the head coach at Vanderbilt. he's on the
Yep.
rise. He lives in a great city. Like, why not spend the next 20 years there? Like, go for it.
And the one thing I will say about Vanderbilt is, as long as he is finding some level of success, they'll hang in there with him. I
Oh yeah.
mean, Kevin Stallings was part of the 300 win club in the SEC, which is an accomplishment, but he was also the only coach in that club without a Final Four appearance. So there was still a little bit of that balance there, but Vanderbilt hung with him for 17 years because he was showing that winning. There was still a chance for
Mhm.
the most part every year. So I think they'll do the same thing with Mark Byington.
Well, let's move over to Lexington, Kentucky. So we're going east on I-40, north on 75 to the Bluegrass, where Mark Pope came home. From BYU, where he was coaching. Mark Pope played for Rick Pitino, won a national championship as a player at Kentucky, brought back a lot of the old players, really seemed to galvanize the Kentucky fan base. They kind of hit a lull with Calipari. It was looking from the outside in, it just like, yeah, it was time. Calipari needed to go somewhere else. Kentucky needed a change. And so first year, Mark Pope just comes in and no national championship, but it's hard to argue with the fact that he pretty much met expectations in this first year.
Definitely,
Brandon,
definitely.
go ahead.
I mean, Sweet 16 appearance. That's great. He got bounced by Tennessee, which was a tough loss for them, I'm sure. Great win for Tennessee, but a hard loss for Kentucky. But I think fans are still have faith in him, and he's a local or alumni. He's a Kentucky guy. He's part of Big Blue Nation through and through. I think fans are excited about that aspect, that he's been there, done that. He's
Yeah,
won a national championship
definitely.
as a player. He knows what it takes. He's going to build that program, and he's recruiting his tail off. I mean, he's got like 3 or 4 4-star recruits from the state of Kentucky. And that is really important for that fan base, to have those local guys, those in-state guys come to them. So I
Absolutely.
mean, he's doing it. He's doing a great job, and he's on fire with recruiting, and I think the future's bright for them for sure. Unfortunately, but the future's bright.
Your
I
thoughts,
agree with
Darren?
that last sentiment,
Right.
unfortunately.
How about your thoughts, Darren?
I tell you what, the big thing to me, if you want to look at where he is versus what the complaints have been the last few years and what led to that kind of mutual parting of the ways, is he advanced in the tournament. He got to a Sweet 16. I mean, how many years in a row were we talking about Kentucky made it to the tournament and then went home quicker than expected? No Sweet 16, sometimes not even advancing past the first round. I think he did that, and Kentucky fans were like, okay, here we go. We'll take this. All right. This feels a lot better than the last few years. We'll take it. I think he did what they needed him to do to give him the space to continue to grow the program the way it looks like he can.
Meanwhile, Kentucky's coach John Calipari left Lexington to go to Fayetteville, where he took over an Arkansas Razorback team. They started slow at the beginning of the season. People were scratching their heads, what is going on? But they
What's
caught
happening?
fire and made quite a run in the NCAA tournament. So how would we grade Calipari's first year at Arkansas? Brandon, what do you think?
I mean, I thought he did a great job overall, considering the way the season ended. But I mean, if you take in all factors, like some guys that he brought in underperformed through the transfer portal, some Kentucky guys that he brought with him. I mean, overall, I mean, I'd give him a solid, I don't know, B plus, just because they started off slow but ended well. But I mean, Sweet 16 is great, good for him. Those guys, he really, the team really came together when it mattered the most, and that's just a testament to what a good coach he is. And he's also a outstanding recruiter. Obviously, they've got 2 5-star guys coming in. So I mean, I've said it a few times, but the future's bright there too. Like they're going to be a good team. They're on the up and up for sure.
What about you, Darren? Your thoughts?
Well, I'm gonna. I don't want to be. I'm going to be positive with a hint of negative. How's that? If I'm an Arkansas fan, I am very excited about the history that Arkansas has, and you can say a sentence like John Calipari is the first coach in Arkansas history to finish the season ranked in the top 20 in his first year. No Arkansas coach has ever done that. So that's an enormous positive. He got them to the Sweet 16. The knock on him, like we just talked about in Kentucky, was get you to the tournament and then get you home early. So he's overcome that. If I'm an honest Arkansas fan, my thought process is I hope this shows how incredible the next 4 years are going to be, and we can grab a national championship in that next 4 years, because his first 5 years are really, really good years. And then after that, I mean, you can kind of look at his track record. So I think if I'm an Arkansas fan, it excites me about the next 5 years, but it also makes me hope we get a whole lot in those next 5 years, because you don't really know what 6 through 10 might look like if there is a 6 through 10.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Calipari is definitely in the latter part of his coaching career, but they will have plenty of that chicken money supporting the program. Every
Very
time
true.
you go out and buy Tyson chicken, you're contributing to the Arkansas Razorback basketball program. But hey, it is good chicken, right?
Well, I immediately, as soon as I found that out, I buy Brookshire's brand. I don't buy Tyson chicken.
I did not know that. I will never buy Tyson chicken again. No.
We used to love Tyson's Anytizers. Haven't had one since the day they signed him. Just saying.
Oh, those are good. Those are so good.
They are good,
man.
but what can you do?
You guys. So, I don't know. I think we're digressing now. It may be time to wrap this show up.
I think you might be on something. When we're boycotting Anytizers, I think we're headed down a rabbit hole.
There goes one potential sponsor we just alienated. Well, Brandon, thanks for joining us again. And for you who are watching or listening, thank you for taking in the show this week. Remember to hit that subscribe button. It means a lot when you subscribe to the show. It helps us get the word out about the show. If you like talking about sports, particularly SEC sports, we like that too, and we're glad that you're along for the ride. Tell your friends about the show. And remember, every episode comes out on Tuesdays at some point. That's the surprise.
Yeah. That's right. It will happen on a Tuesday. We can tell you that.
So until next Tuesday, whenever that might be, y'all take care.
Have a great week.
Thank you for making the Brew and Shaver Sports Podcast your go-to sports show. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review our show if you haven't already. Your feedback is so important. Let us know what you think about this week's show. Send an email to brewandshavers@gmail.com or a text to our text line 318-390-3599. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you again for listening to the Brew and Shavers Sports Podcast. See you next week.